This scene will be in camp at night. In fact, very early in the morning when you guys are woken up by what sounds like a large thud on the ground and a soft curse that seems to be coming from Lee's from Lee. He, as you awake to this noise, you hear the sound of glass shattering on the ground and the smell of alcohol hitting the air.
Oh,
The smell of the dandelion wine. You see, as you stir, Lee notices you, and with big defeated eyes, he crumples down on a nearby log, and he says, I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. I ferreted it out like a fucking hound, I guess.
Al's just gonna sit next to Lee. He's not gonna say anything.
I tried. I tried so hard, but I just failed. I fail at everything, you know. That's why I'm here.
Al will stop and say, no, you're trying. And you made a slip up. But you knew this wasn't going to be easy.
A slip up. Is that what we call? What happens when we fail the ones who just want the best for you? It's just a mistake. You don't know the mistakes I've made.
Let me ask you something. Do you intend to keep trying?
I don't know. I don't know if there's any point to it. I don't know if there's any point. I can't get it out of my head. I just can't. You don't understand. It's sitting on my heart like a stone. It's my fault. Oh God, it's my fault.
Oh God. Al's gonna say, you're right, I don't understand.
You see tears start to come down his eyes. They're just pooling a little bit as he says, oh, she was so nice. She was such a smart girl. Oh. I never had a daughter, you know. At least I don't think I did. When I was young, I sowed my oats, but none of them took seed. You don't interrupt him? You don't have to. He's going to just keep going.
Yeah, Al's just sitting listening to everything.
Yeah. And he says, by the way, wait, before I go any further into this, Tom, Patrick, are you just observing at this point? I don't want to cut you out of the scene either.
Yeah, I'm just observing.
Okay.
Not saying anything.
All right.
He's going to be there. I'm just trying to figure out anything else that he would do.
Okay.
You may continue.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna just keep going speaking as Lee though, so I'm gonna just delve in character here for a moment. When I was, I there was a girl who had a gift. She was curious, and I needed some coin, and after some pretty perilous shit, I figured teaching might have been a good thing for me. And she was so interested. I taught her what I knew, but I filled her head with stories. Wonders that are seen, monsters to be vanquished, interesting people, amazing worlds. She wanted me to tell them, so I told her. I told her everything I did or saw, and when I ran out of those stories, I started to make them up. And when I ran out of that, I started telling stories of other people I met, and she ate it all up. And then she left. She was gone for years. I'd see her from time to time, but the last time when she came back, she was gone. You see, I told her these stories, and she went out, and something took her. Oh, God. Oh, God, I never had a daughter, but if I did, it'd be her. Someone took Maureen. Something found her. And they scooped. They scooped out everything that was her, and all that's left is a shell. They should have just killed her, but they didn't. They scooped her up, and it's all my fault. It's all my fault. And with that, he weeps for minutes until finally he cries himself all out of his tears.
Al will sit there silently the whole time. And when he's done with his tears, Al will quietly say, I once had a friend who I didn't treat as a friend. I judged them too much, too harshly. They had a sickness, and instead of helping, I turned away from them, and I cast them out of my home. And the next time I saw them, they were being enslaved by Splagorth. If I hadn't have cast them out, if I hadn't have told them to leave, if I had treated them like the family they were, that never would have happened, and I almost lost him.
He just replies with, do you ever think that if you never existed, things would be better?
Al shakes his head and says, the lives we lead sometimes put others in danger. But I sleep well knowing that what we do, you, me, Patrick, Tom, everyone, what we do day in and day out helps far more people than it ever hurt.
I don't care. I don't care about other people. I only care what I did to her. I will carry that with me forever. And I try so hard to forget. I tried to deny it. I pretend it happened to someone else. I pretend I didn't know her because truly she is a stranger. But I
So,
can't trick myself.
do you think she's still out there somewhere?
No. No, she's gone. She's gone. All that's left is that thing.
Are you really so sure? I won't
The only
pretend-
way to find out is to go there, and who's to say what happens to her won't happen to me or anyone else? There are some things in this universe, there's some things in reality that you cannot meet.
Al's quiet for a long time. And he says, I can't speak for anyone else. But there are those who say that once Splagorth gets you, you never come back. And I got my chance to save my friend. If you ever want a chance to save yours, I'm there for you.
It's nice of you to say, but I just... and he clears his eyes a little bit, and he says, he regains some composure, and he says, I shouldn't have said anything. It's my burden to bear.
Al shakes his head and says, no, you should have said something a long time ago. Lee, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Bear earlier. I consider you part of the group.
Why? I've acted like a piece of shit most of the time.
Al raises an eyebrow, and I haven't?
Oh, you're fucking preachy, but I wouldn't call you a piece of shit.
Al shrugs and says to some people it can be just as bad. No one's perfect here, Lee. None of us are. But that's why we work. We think outside the box. We are outside the box. And sometimes that means we've got rough edges. Look. The whole it's my burden to bear is bullshit. We're a group. We do things together. We handle things together. Mariah, Mila, Nora, it's not her burden to bear. The coalition, the crap I've dragged you through, would you get angry at me if I tried to leave and face it on my own? We're a group. We share our problems. And because of it, we're far stronger than we ever would be alone.
Mm-hmm. Lee just gives a bit of a nod. But you can tell it's not a dismissive one. He's soaking in what you said. He goes, I'm gonna make some coffee.
Al nods and he says, make two. I'm not very sleepy.
Actually, he says, as he wobbles a little bit on the log, maybe you should make it. I don't really have the steadiest of hands at the moment.
Al will chuckle and stand up to go
No.
make some coffee.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Sit here. I'll do it.
Al will shrug and sit back down.
It's so hard not to call you a kid no more, since you've been in that body.
Yeah. Honestly, don't really have a response for him.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to think if Lee would say anything else, or if we can close up the scene this way. Or unless you want to contribute at all there, Mr. Patrick? His mic is muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He's been
Or he's
talking
not
this
here.
whole time, like, Squeeze,
Yeah, you're
shut
like,
up,
why
you're
are you-
messing up.
Yay!
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Patrick would be sitting there,
Yeah.
in probably a campfire like circular sort of benches or logs or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be not sitting next to Lee, but um, definitely he hasn't really said anything, and he's not his usual he doesn't have a usual curious look um uh or general small smile that he usually has. It's a lot more serious than his other normal looks.
Mm-hmm.
But he does not say anything.
Okay. All right. Well, then we can wrap up the scene with some coffee, and we sobering up, and getting some sleep. After that scene itself, we can make it whatever day. But after that, Elok stops serving dandelion wine to anybody.
Yeah. It
Uh,
makes sense.
Al
Mhm.
would want to talk to the others at some point
Sure, you can easily find plenty of time.
and say, look, you were all there. What happened to Morin's really torn him up. I don't know much about interdimensional travel or anything, but I know that we've done some things that people would say is impossible. Do you think there's any way we can help?
Yes, and yes, there's always a way, and all we need to be, all we need to do is find it.
Al would nod. If it meant risking becoming what Morin is, would you still be willing?
Pa- Patrick would look distant. Um, Generally staring to the side, like he's currently in another scene in another world. Something else is happening.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie.
Tom?
Hmm?
That question wasn't just to Patrick.
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Um,
I honestly wasn't paying attention.
no,
My
no,
bad.
it's fine. It's fine.
I'm very sorry.
Basically, Al was saying that what happened to Lee and Morin has really messed Lee up, and he was wondering if there was a way that we could help. And Patrick said, "There's a way. We just need to find it." And I asked if it meant risking becoming what Morin is. Would you still help? Hang on, guys. My washing machine's about to break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Tom will think about that for a while. While we wait for Squee.
What's going on?
I have no clue.
I have
For all I know,
no
Squee
idea.
is mating with his
Washing machine.
washing machine. Yeah, maybe. Either way, doesn't matter. Well, you guys are having a discussion, so I can't move things forward because that would be rude. Hey, someone roll D100. Stop the serious fucking conversation. Jeez, you assholes.
Or you could and be like, suddenly a werewolf pops out of nowhere. starts mauling Al. Al, do you do anything? Say
No.
nothing for no.
Say ooh, ooh at your washing machine if you want to fight back.
Um. Yeah. I'll wait until Squeak gets back, but after he gets back, I need to reset my router because
Oh
I apparently have no connection,
Sorry about
even
can
though
hear
I'm
you.
talking with you guys.
Sorry
All
about
right,
that, guys.
so
It's okay.
I was gonna say sorry. I had you know when your washing machine has too much weight on one side and then tries to do the spin cycle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
So Tom will think about that for a minute, and he will respond if it fixes Lee, if it helps him. Sure.
I can think of one person who might know how to help, or at least give us an idea of where to start.
Who?
Tyrath.
Yep, that is true. That is very true. But we need to make sure that Mila's 100% first.
Of course. And of course we wouldn't... This needs to be something the group is on board with. Everyone.
Yes,
But-
everyone, including.
Yeah, but... Look. I think I owe it to Lee. And if the group's
Yeah.
willing, I'd really want to try and... If nothing else, we've seen more, and I'd hate for her to live the rest of her life like that.
Are you talking about trying to fix Morin?
That's the
I
only
thought we
way
were trying to
fix
fix
Lee.
Lee.
Doing one does the other. I'm not saying it's going to fix Lee, but he's guilt-ridden over it. If we can find a way to, I don't know, bring Morin back, it'll help a lot.
Yeah. That's going to be very dangerous, though, because we
That's
would have
why-
to go back to New Laszlo.
That's why I asked.
I thought you were talking about going, like, doing what Morin did and going through a rift.
Why would that help Lee?
I don't know.
We like thrift. Oh, wait, no, we
No.
don't.
You said if we were to do what Morin did.
No, I said if it
Right?
were to risk becoming what Morin became.
Yes, that's my mind jumped to going
I see.
through.
No,
Portal.
the idea is that she was like a daughter to him, and he's problems with alcohol and everything stems from his obscene guilt. I don't think obscene's the right word.
Intense.
Intense guilt, and that honestly, I mean, and this is just from Al's perspective, but honestly, if there is a cause that is worthy of risking your life for, then saving one person's life and helping to heal another seems like a good cause.
Yeah, it would require going to New Laszlo.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Well, in order to fix her, we have to. Oh yeah, maybe Tyrath can help that.
It would
help with
probably
that.
be much
But-
better to be able to show Morin to Tyreth so that he can see.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking, and this is still in character, what I'm thinking, even though it's probably not the best, we'd have to convince New Laszlo, and that's probably going to be very, very, very hard, especially since we did what we did last time. Her coming with us, and then Tyrath, I don't know, there might be a certain place, maybe on Earth, maybe somewhere else, that might be able to help her. But she would have to be with us for a while,
We don't know that.
if not permanently.
We don't know
That's just my thoughts on
yeah,
that.
I know.
It-
I know. And you're very right. I mean, it's very possible. But I mean, we don't know if we don't try.
Yeah, be risky as hell though. I don't want to.
Look, we were willing to risk it for Mariah, Mila, Nora. I'd be willing
Yeah,
to risk it for Lee too. And honestly, you saw him. He's not much better right now.
yeah, he's not. We need to find out what other things that everybody else in our group has so that we can figure out if we need to fix them or not.
Al's gonna smile.
Because this is starting to pile up bigger and bigger.
Out of character, if we go back to New Laszlo, we totally have to leave a note on that board saying, "Sorry, you missed us."
Out of character, I was trying to say we should totally just try and recruit
More.
recruit her. Morin.
Well, I mean,
Um,
you're right. We might
Lee
need to
might
take
be
her
able
with
to.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So then Lee might be able to help her himself somehow.
Although,
It would be very hard because that is New Laszlo's only defense or something, if I recall correctly.
not only defense, but her most effective offense against the rifts that open in Detroit. Yeah. She can
Yeah.
detect rifts opening within a day.
Here's a question, and we could do this like in character to Lee, or just like ask you out of character. Is there any way for us to know if curing her has a high chance of her not being able to do that anymore, or if her skill is not really attached to her personality?
There is no way you would know that.
Right.
No way you would know that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that the people at New Laszlo are decent enough people that if it meant a way to cure her, I hope their morals would allow it. I can't imagine that they would imprison her to that life just because she's useful. They're not the
I don't
coalition.
know. They were very adamant
About keeping
on her coming
yes,
back.
because
Yeah.
they probably believe there's no way to cure her.
Maybe.
I mean, if she's stuck like that, then yes, might as well use the ability she has. But if we tell them that if Tyrath, if there's a way and we can show them there is a way to help her, I think they'd be pretty despicable people to deny her that chance just because she's useful. I can't imagine, what was his name? The Cyber Knight standing for such a thing.
Ashwin Calabar.
Yeah.
Yep. Ashwin. Anyways, my vote is sure. I would want to be very, very, very cautious if the route is to go into New Laszlo. But still, I would be fine. I would be for helping Lee.
agree.
And with that, I need to be right back and reset my router.
Okie dokie. So, you guys can keep talking about this if you like, or if you don't want to end the session on such a serious note, we can do another random scene, and you guys can talk about the whole Lee thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm good with either.
Okay. Well, we'll wait till Bernie gets back.
Mm-hmm. I think me as a player, I love the idea because I felt bad for Morin ever since we met her.
Mm-hmm.
And Al tried to talk to her and got the whole he's an ant.
Well, yep.
Mm.
Talking to her doesn't really work sometimes.
No.
Hey,
no.
how's it going? Shut up, Ant.
Yeah, you're an ant. You don't understand. I'm not disagreeing with you. But yeah.
So, Squee, I am taking extreme serious consideration to go back to that house and pick up
Oh yeah.
Slimy?
Miss Ma'am.
Miss Ma'am.
Miss Ma'am.
He's named it already.
I'm not gonna stop you as long as it doesn't slime all over Hannibal. How big is it? You said 3 feet, right?
Three
Why is everyone so
feet.
concerned about the freaking like?
Vegetarian slime. It's
Yeah, it's
sleepy.
like
Okay,
it's a
here's why I'm
thing that
concerned.
eats vegetables.
No. I'm not really worried about it eating Hannibal. I'm just worried that puppies
That's what
get
Burns
into
is
things.
worried about.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about puppy getting into slimy slug stuff. Where would we keep it?
There was a few things about like getting basically like a aquarium, basically a glass holder, but
I'm all
there's
for it. Like, in all seriousness, I know Patrick's not just gonna like let it wander around the behemoth, so I'm all for it. It's not like we're gonna wake up and try and go out to the kitchen for breakfast and find a slug on the stove or something. So I am all for it. If you
I
want
think
that
you would
thing,
probably let him out if he has an eye on him, but besides that,
if you want to go get him, I will help.
okay. We're gonna need. Should we just put him in one of the rooms?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Uh,
You could.
Lucky room.
yeah. No. But
It's Mams.
as far as the Lee thing goes, like out of character, we'll have to wait and see what Criana says, and I know
Yeah.
what you guys want to do, but I mean, I'm really gung ho.
It depends on how much you want to put on your plate too, right?
Right.
I want to make sure you don't have too many irons in the fire.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd be gung ho to do something like that, or at least attempt it.
Yeah, we can see you burn.
Hello.
See your creepy clown face.
Burn. See your tests.
We can't hear you though if you're talking.
Yeah. You might be muted.
Are you muted?
Are you so mute?
Blink
So-
once if yes.
Twice if no, or 3 times for me to realize that we. Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear.
Yes.
It says there's a problem with the call, but it's burn.
Yeah.
Well, he's
The white
he's-
bubbles.
either way. I'll wait till Burn Burn gets back. Just a second. I'll restart the call.
Okay. Hello.
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 All right, Burn hung up on his own call. He says he's busy. Stop being busy. There we go. Burn. Still can't hear you,
Oh.
homie. There we go.
Here you are.
Hi, Jesus.
Well,
Okay.
Jesus has nothing to do with it. It's the internet.
But he does love riffs.
No, I'm sure. Why not?
Right?
Who doesn't, right?
Paul, pay attention. It's your turn.
Who's Paul? Oh, I get it. The disciple.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway. Now I'm just imagining that last supper with the Riffs GM screen.
Yeah. God, this has been going for 5 hours. I'm hungry. Has anyone got fish?
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Sorry.
Anywho, that's okay. All right. Do you guys, before we... sorry. Patrick, you go and collect the full neck. It is its mouth is super attached to the moss that it was sucking on, so you have to kind of pry it off a little bit.
Mhm.
But it otherwise just hangs just kind of in your hands, kind of limply. So, yeah. Where do you put it?
Oh boy.
Not like where do you put it, but like what would you like? What's the plan of action with Miss Ma'am?
If we have room, Burn, are you here?
Yes.
Do we have an empty room?
I believe you do on the Behemoth.
Oh,
I think you have one more that isn't storage.
Let me check. because I actually have been.
This is
Diagramming it?
so this is like a temporary until we can make some sort of aquarium thing, right?
Sure.
Because
Yeah. See, even you want an aquarium for it. See?
well, no, I just assumed that Patrick's not just going to let it run around the behemoth all willy nilly. That'd be an
Doesn't really
That's what he
run.
wanted to do.
It doesn't
No, it's
really
not.
run. It moves slowly.
Yeah, but Patrick's not an
You
irresponsible.
guys are
pet
so
owner.
concerned about a
Of course, I'm
slug.
fucking concerned.
Okay, yes, Piff. I will say this: I'm very concerned about an animal that generates slime everywhere. Yes,
You.
I'm more concerned
That's
about the fact that it.
racist.
I would like to not live in a home that's constantly covered in slime. Call me
Okay,
crazy.
so
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
we have Tom Alpam, Alicia Mila. We also have
Barely.
I barely. There's a room full of MDC materials.
Don't you have 10 rooms, though?
Yeah, we have 10 rooms. We have Tom Alpam, Alicia Mila Lee, Bear. That's
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
One for storage, one for Patrick, one for full MDC, full of MDC mats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, full of MDC mats.
Materials.
Materials. Although
Yeah.
you don't have that many. Well, no, you did stock up on them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have in total, because I do believe that the Samson would be in there too.
It would be.
Let's see, 126 plus an extra 240.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It's pretty much full. So we have Patrick's workshop, which has the shuttle.
Uh-huh.
We have the med bay,
Uh-huh.
and we have storage.
Okay,
Yep.
here's an idea. The med bay is generally, unless I'm really wrong, it's bigger than we really need. If we were just to cordon off a section of it,
Well,
something.
actually, technically, we have a bit of room up on the observation deck if you make a little enclosure for it.
Yeah, I mean, all we'd really need to do is take some of those mega damage materials we're not using right now and make a little, like, kitty gate. Until
It
we
can
can
go
get an
over
actual...
the kitty gate.
Well,
It needs to be a full like box like enclosure.
You're so concerned about a
Yes, I
slug.
am.
again,
This is my home. I don't want there to be slime all over the place, and I also don't want it to be around just in case it gets hungry and wants to eat Hannibal.
okay, no, seriously, okay, the illogical
Be
objections
caring.
aside, on a vegetarian slug, I think it's a reasonable request to not have a creature that generates slime have free run of our home.
Yes,
Oh.
that is my one stipulation. If you want this pet,
I even say that's I even say that's a responsible pet owner, because what's to stop it from falling into the pool?
I'm imagining this conversation is when Patrick comes back and he just has Miss Ma'am slung over his head and he's just looking at you all sad. Or you're like, listen, this is the one condition. You can't have this pet unless he's just like, oh, Miss Ma'am.
Well, how's it going to get its exercise?
It's a slug.
it's a slug.
Yeah, it's a slug. That's my point.
I
What are you
feel
guys
like-
so concerned about?
I feel like we're speaking the same language, but
I love this. This is amazing. Out of all the things I created randomly tonight, this has the most effect that I did not anticipate. You guys talking intently over how to house this alien slug thing.
again, like, and I was just gonna be like, Patrick, I am fine with you having it. I'm glad that you like it, and hey, I think it'll make a great pet. I don't want it to have free run of the behemoth where it can put slime over everything. I hope you can understand that, but even if you can't, I still have to insist on it.
Dude, if it just slimes up the stairs, that's a safety hazard right there.
Al's gonna point to Tom. Like, huh? Not to mention that Alicia might just blow it out of. Like, I mean, what happens?
True.
If Alicia steps on it in the morning, and or Nora, if we
How
get
is it going
Mariah
to be opening up any doors? It's a slug.
I didn't say it gets into her room. I said if she steps on it in the morning, like when she comes outside to have breakfast.
Let's not be too negative over the slug.
Look, you concerned about her stepping on the dog? Don't
Yeah.
think so.
The dog doesn't.
But the
put
dog has
slime
an
everywhere.
enclosure.
That's true. The dog does have an enclosure, but still.
And we want an enclosure for the fucking the slug. What the?
Does it have an enclosure? Did we have an enclosure for the dog?
We have.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
built a enclosure for Hannibal out of like fencing stuff.
So he doesn't
Fence.
pee and poop everywhere in the behemoth.
Yeah, it's all in one small place, and we would take him on walks and stuff.
Look, I would like to discuss this, and I'm definitely considering the whole housing thing. But if we could do it in a calm tone, that would be great.
Yeah, it's true. There's really no reason to get upset about it.
Being very passionate.
And it is kind of cute.
Dude,
Wow.
makes a little sound. See? And it's an alien slug. Alien. It barely even has any freaking notations on the freaking know-it-all computer. It's gonna be great.
It's an alien slug?
Yeah.
Huh. So. Okay. So, let's say we temporarily find a place to put it, Patrick. What would be your plans permanently?
To love it and feed it, and
I mean, where would it stay? And in what?
oh, I guess an enclosure would be pretty good. There's room in, there's probably room next to Hannibal. Make another fence next to that.
I'm okay with
Tom will be very, very, very concerned
this.
because he
gonna look at
doesn't
Tom
want it.
and be like, what, why? What's so wrong with that? It's in an enclosure, so it's not sliming up the place.
Patrick mentioned that it can become a
It eats carrion.
Carnivore.
It eats carrion, which means it eats dead flesh.
Yeah.
it
okay.
eats dead flesh. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what eating carrion is. Yeah.
Yeah, because last time Biff said it, it was it can eat other things, not it eats carrion. Okay, that changes a few things.
Okay.
I still don't want it next to Hannibal though.
Why?
That is a very large overreaction.
Well, no, like, and Al's actually asking, what's wrong with having an enclosure next to Hannibal?
What if it gets out of the enclosure and into the... I don't want it
Hannibal
next
would
to Hannibal.
probably kill it. I mean, of the two animals, I'd be far more concerned about Mrs. Man.
Mrs. Ma'am.
I'd be more concerned about Mrs. Man because Hannibal has teeth.
Mrs. Ma'am just has little sucky things.
Yeah.
Little tiny mouth.
Like, I'll be honest with you. If there's one we need to worry about, I think it's the slug, not the dog. If you were to put the two in a battle royale to the death, I would be willing to put money, everything I own, in fact, on the dog.
Rather have an observation deck. And Tom's just gonna walk away at this point.
Okay. All right. So, with our riveting conversation about what to do with Mrs. Ma'am, would this be a good time to just wrap up the session, do you
Yes, I
think,
think
guys?
it might
Yes.
be.
All right.
By the way,
Mhm.
Patrick is going to put it into his room in no enclosure while we build the enclosure.
Okay,
Oh,
great. I can't wait
Patrick.
to find. Well, we have to get back to the behemoth right now.
Yeah.
We're still doing the 7 days with Elok thing,
I
but
was actually, I was actually thinking that for the time being, would it work if, because Al was gonna get some of the moss it was eating,
uh-huh.
Oh yeah, bring
collect
the
up as much of it
mattress.
as he could,
Bring the
and then
mattress.
and then basically set up like a little enclosure in the area and put moss in it.
If you bring the mattress with you during the rest of the week, it will not move from that mattress. It is
Okay.
very content just hanging out there eating that moss.
Then we'll do that.
It eats it at a very slow rate too.
I don't suppose you could slime train it. I don't think that's possible.
I could see what I can do, but I don't. I don't think that's how.
How that works.
Al will put a hand on Patrick's shoulder. Patrick, all in all, I think it's a fantastic idea. We just got to make sure we do it in a way that doesn't step on any toes.
You can't even step though.
Wasn't talking literally, Patrick.
All right, perfect time to close things.